Have you ever heard of a war so ridiculous that the enemy didn't even have weapons and still won? It wasn't fought in some far-off fantasy land, and it wasn't a comedy sketch, though it's been retold in pubs and on the internet like the punchline to a very strange joke. This was a real military operation, complete with soldiers, machine guns, and strategy, all against a foe that most people associate with petting zoos and awkward farm parks. The year was 1932, the place was Western Australia, and the enemy was the emu. While Simon and Rachel are busy working on something new, I'll be your narrator for this episode of the Cherrywood Conspiracy Files. To understand how one of history's strangest conflicts came about, you have to picture Australia in the years after the First World War. Thousands of soldiers had returned home, many given farmland in rural Western Australia as part of a government settlement scheme. Life was already tough. The Great Depression was biting, markets for crops were drying up, and the land was harsh. And then came the emus. Emus, tall, flightless birds with powerful legs, sharp claws, and a knack for running like Olympic sprinters, had been native to Australia long before farmers turned up with wheat and fences. Normally, they roamed the outback in manageable numbers, but in late 1932, something unusual happened. Around 20,000 of them began migrating toward farmland near Campion, searching for food and water after a particularly dry season. What they found was a free buffet, endless wheat fields, perfect for feasting and nesting. The farmers tried chasing them off, but emus are fast, up to 30 miles per hour, and their bodies can absorb small-caliber bullets like they're shrugging off a stiff breeze. Every time the farmers thought they'd herded them away, the birds regrouped and returned. The situation got so bad that the farmers, many of them ex-soldiers, actually petitioned the government for military assistance. The Minister of Defense, Sir George Pearce, approved the plan. Yes, in Australia, the military was officially deployed to fight birds. In November 1932, Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery was dispatched with 2 soldiers, a pair of Lewis machine guns, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The plan was simple: ambush the emus, mow them down, and reclaim the fields. But the first encounter didn't go to plan. The emu scattered into small, fast-moving groups, making them hard targets. The machine guns jammed, and the soldiers barely managed to bring down a few birds before the rest melted into the scrub. Meredith adjusted the strategy, attempting to mount one of the machine guns on the back of a truck. The problem? The terrain was too rough, the ride too bumpy, and the emus still outran the soldiers with ease. One soldier later joked that trying to shoot an emu was like trying to shoot a cloud. Over the following days, the soldiers scored a few hits here and there, but they never managed the decisive blow they'd hoped for. The birds were not only fast, but seemed to have leaders, larger, stronger males who acted as lookouts, warning the flock to scatter when danger approached. By December, after thousands of rounds fired, the official death toll was only a few hundred emus, far fewer than the number the farmers had hoped for. The press had a field day, publishing headlines about the Great Emu War and poking fun at the government for losing to a bunch of birds. One newspaper quipped that the emus had commanded better strategy than the army. Eventually, the military withdrew, and the emus stayed. The farmers were left to build better fences and accept the strange reality that they'd been outwitted by wildlife. When the army withdrew in defeat, the Great Emu War was officially over, but its legend was just beginning. The farmers eventually resorted to bounty hunting and fence building, and although these methods were far less glamorous than machine gun fire, they proved more effective. The government quietly moved on, but the public never forgot that Australia had once waged war against its own wildlife, and lost. Theories about the Emu War range from the straightforward to the delightfully absurd. The simplest explanation is that this was an ill-planned, politically motivated attempt to appease struggling farmers. By sending in the military, the government could be seen as doing something without actually solving the deeper issues of drought, land mismanagement and over-farming. The birds weren't the cause of the farmers' hardship, they were just the most visible nuisance. Others see it as a classic example of hubris, the idea that humans, armed with modern technology, could easily dominate nature. And yet, nature didn't just resist, it outmaneuvered them. Some animal behaviorists have even suggested that the emu's apparent ability to outsmart soldiers might have been nothing more than instinctive flocking patterns and territorial behavior. But to the soldiers on the ground, it looked like military-level tactics. Then there are the more tongue-in-cheek theories. Some historians, with a wink and a nudge, claim that the emus knew they were being hunted and deliberately acted as if they were taunting their pursuers, running in erratic zigzags, sending decoy groups to draw fire, and reappearing in the same fields just hours after being chased away. A few conspiracy enthusiasts have gone even further, joking that the emus might have been part of a covert government experiment in animal intelligence, though there's no actual evidence for this beyond the bird's uncanny knack for survival. One thing is certain, the Great Emu War has become a symbol of absurdity in military history. It's taught in schools, turned into comedy sketches, and referenced in political debates as a cautionary tale of overconfidence. But it also hides a deeper truth, that human attempts to control nature often reveal just how little control we actually have. The emus didn't just survive, they thrived, with populations still strong across Australia today. And so, the Great Emu War leaves us with a few lingering questions. Could the military have succeeded with better tactics, or was this always a battle they were destined to lose? Should this be seen as an embarrassment, or as a strangely charming reminder that sometimes the underdog, or in this case the overgrown flightless bird, wins? And perhaps the most important question of all, if we ever have another war with emus, whose side would you be on? This has been another episode of the Cherrywood Conspiracy Files, the spin-off of the Cherrywood podcast, where Simon and Rachel usually sit down with guests from all walks of life, swapping stories, sharing laughs, and occasionally diving into the unexpected. When the main podcast's busy with interviews and filming, the Conspiracy Files step in to keep your curiosity fed. Until next time, keep questioning the official story, and maybe keep an eye on the nearest emu.
Club Awesome, for autistic children and their families, a place where everyone belongs and fun knows no age limit.
Today's sponsors are Dimodici Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on dimodiciassociates.com.
Right at Home Medway, providers of safe and trusted quality care for adults in the comfort of their own home. Whether you need companionship, medication assistance, personal care, living care or more, we've got you covered. Visit rightathome.co.uk/medway or call them on 01634 979 000. Are you looking for a cleaning or facilities management? Clearwater Kent is your trusted local expert. From roofs and driveway cleaning to fully facilitated management, they're a fully licensed, award-winning business that you can count on. Visit clearwaterkent.co.uk or call 01634 681 885.
Need stunning video or photography for your big day or even your business? Cherrywood Production delivers award-winning results with a personal touch. From weddings to promotional content, we turn your vision into reality. Visit cherrywoodpro.com today. Your memories, our passion. Put your business in front of 30,000 new customers with the Hindsight Directory. This A5 full-colour magazine is delivered by Royal Mail to Maidstone, Gravesend, Medway and Bromley, with more areas to come. Visit hindsightdirectory.co.uk.
New Digital, helping businesses build their online presence with web design, SEO, Google Ads and social media. Get 10% off when you quote Cherrywood today. Visit their website at nudigitalera.co.uk.